Hello and welcome back to another video. Here is a preview of what's to come in today's video. I am getting a bunch of speed cleaning done to get parts of the house back in order. I am also going to get the couch cushions washed. So I am just going to take you along with me as I get some much needed things checked off my to-do list. If you need some cleaning motivation to get some things done on your to-do list, let's go ahead and do this together. If you're new here, please feel free to subscribe and like this video. Thank you. First things first, we are going to get some multitasking done at its finest. I'm going to throw a load of towels in the washer, then we are going to get the stairs vacuumed. And your hands felt warm. Take me back to the start. If only for a moment. I've been up since 3, scrolling back where we used to be. Half truths in this late night chat, both of us knowing what a lie that. Funny how we talk like we're fine, but your name still lives in my rhyme. Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. When the world felt small and your hands felt warm. I have not vacuumed the stairs in so long, which I know it's bad. I had every intention to before we hosted Chinese New Year, but I think back then I just wasn't feeling it. So a lot that I would usually clean and get done before hosting, I did not clean. I think I got the main areas, like the noticeable areas, cleaned. But it's okay because we are getting this done today. This is definitely one of those areas that can get overlooked easily because you can't really see that it's dirty, but it's so crazy the amount of dust and debris that gets vacuumed up here. I had to use my handheld because I could not see myself using the plug-in vacuum. It would be so awkward and probably take longer since it is so big. Take me back to the start, if only for a moment. If only for a moment. If only for a moment. Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. When the world felt small and your hands felt warm. Take me back to the start, if only for a moment. I know the lighting was so horrible there, but the only way to get my ring light would be to get an extension cord and plug it in because there's no outlets in this area on the stairs. And I just think that was too much. But after going through and editing this, I think I need to go ahead and get one out and just put it somewhere that it's easily accessible for me so that I can use it for times like this. In the stairwell, we only have one light, and it is a warm light, which I do not mind and I like it. But of course, it does not go well with recording content. I don't feel like I sound too nasally, but I woke up this morning and my eyes feel so swollen, but they do not appear to be, which is good, I guess. I know Mike had mentioned to me yesterday or the day before that he felt like his allergies were acting up. So I hope that is what it is for me, because my eyes hurt, and then behind my eyes and my nose feels like there's just a lot of pressure. So I think it is just sinuses and allergies. I was debating doing this voiceover today because, like I said, I feel like I don't sound too bad. I think I've done voiceovers before sounding worse and more plugged up. I looked it up online, of course, and it can be a number of things: the allergies and sinuses, and then dry eye syndrome, which I don't have. But that just reminded me I did want to put a couple eye drops in to see if that relieves some pain. So I do need to do that today. And then another thing I saw was too much time in front of a screen, which that can be it as well. So I don't know. I'm definitely going to try to take breaks from the screens today and tomorrow, just in case that is the reasoning for my eyes feeling this way. Just going to get these dishes put away. It seems like this may have been one of the times we forgot to leave the dishwasher door open overnight, because when we don't, they do not dry. Then I end up unloading them after I've already dropped off the kids at school, because I'll just open it when I wake up, but it does take a couple of hours to air dry when the doors open. Since we are here in the kitchen, if you missed last week's videos, one of them was a power hour kitchen clean. So if you haven't watched that and want to, I will have that linked below in the description. I got a lot done in here and it is very motivating. Last week's other video was a shower deep clean with me. I will provide the link to that one as well if you are needing some bathroom/shower cleaning motivation, because I definitely needed that to even do that video. And then just YouTube and content aside, the shower needed it really bad. So I'll have both of those linked below. This was just a random towel load. We keep a basket in the laundry room that is just for towels, so whenever it gets full, I can just throw them in the washer without sorting or thinking. Well, sometimes, because I have found some of Mike's clothes in the towel basket, but I think it's because he comes through here when he gets back from fishing and he likes to change right away. And I guess he doesn't want to mix those dirty clothes with his regular dirty clothes. I don't know. So some of his items end up in this basket, but not all the time. It's only when he goes fishing. Another basket I would like to add in here is a basket for white clothing, or anything white really that would need to be bleached, because those definitely need to be separate. I just need to rearrange some stuff in here to make that work. I have found every time I do a load with bleach, there is always a straggler that got left behind after the load is already halfway through. So then they gotta wait until the next time, which is like a week or two. It's not every day or even every week that I do a load with bleach. So of course, a dedicated basket would help me with that. I keep these small towels for my oldest son to fold and put away. It is a good chore for him to do, but today I think I just wanted to get everything put away. Also, I think it is official that some of my small kitchen towels have been walking away. I definitely need to buy a new pack. I bought this last pack at Ross a long time ago, so I will definitely go there again to get a new pack. I feel like they're so cheap and they come with so many. And I also feel like we just run out so fast, as in we use them up so fast in the kitchen, and I'm always having to do a load of towels for that reason. But then again, these are kind of getting old and worn, so a fresh set would be good in that sense as well. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Here we go. I came in this restroom for something on this day. I can't remember what for, but for some reason I had to open the shower curtain, which, by the way, I do want to get a new one, preferably one that matches the brown, black, and white I've got going on in here. The people before us had it painted this light brown color, which I don't mind at all, but then I decided to decorate black and white and brown, and this gray shower curtain was from our last house and just came with us. So I think it is time for a shower curtain refresh and a different color that will go with everything. But upon my looking in here, I saw how disgusting the bathtub was. So I'm going to use my trusty vinegar and Dawn dish soap to scrub this ring around the tub off. I am literally just eyeballing this. I do 1 part vinegar and 1 part Dawn dish soap and just mix it all together. And I keep a sponge on hand and separate just for vinegar and Dawn dish soap cleanings. And then the bottom of the tub, I know y'all saw that stain there. There's not really anything I can do about that. The only thing that we can do about that is replace the tub with a brand new one, which we are not in the market for right now, but it is definitely on the wish list. But like I said, there's really nothing I can do about that. I honestly haven't even looked up how to restore it, but I think Mike did. And then, yeah, he just came to the conclusion that we need to buy a new one. But of course, I mean, the tub is still usable, so it's not anything that we are in a rush to do. Here we go. You can take me there tonight. Whoa, this life is all we know. Whoa, I can't stay if you can't let it go. I never really know what's going on. And even when you're next to me, I feel like you were gone. It's all the things you never show. They're all the things I want to know. This did require a lot of elbow grease, as you can see. My cousins had came to drop off something for us. Then they were going to go out and about and run some errands. So they asked my son if he wanted to go with them. So he was off having cousin time, which was good. They went around the world and he really enjoyed himself. And then the next day, he was just saying how that day was a good day, and then the day before was such a good day, and so he had such a great weekend, and it made me so happy. But when he got home, I asked him how could he not see how dirty the tub was, and how come he hadn't told me or asked me to clean it. And he was in genuine shock. So I think it may have just been one of those things that when you see it and use it every day, you don't really notice when something is wrong with it or different or needs to be cleaned. Because my first instinct was to wait until he got home, because I figured it was the perfect opportunity to show him how to clean a tub. But in that moment, I just thought it was just so atrocious. So I could not wait. And I'm glad I didn't wait, because they were gone for a good while. They went shopping, they went to the mall, they grabbed some snacks to eat. And I think by that time I was tired myself just from the day. So I am glad I just cleaned it when I did, and I will just have to show him how to clean a tub the next time.
Secret start in your heart so slow. But if you don't wanna tell me now, I guess I'll never know. But if you don't wanna tell me now, I guess I'll never know.
Here is the after, and y'all, I did not even clean the tiles because the tub was just at the forefront that needed to be cleaned. And with the vinegar and Dawn, you have to let it sit for 5 to 7 minutes after scrubbing, and then you literally just rinse it off and then enjoy your final clean product. Next up are these couch cushions, and oh my God, how many times are we going to hear about stuff that I wanted or meant to clean before Chinese New Year? Because this was another item. But let me tell you why I did not do this. It is very time consuming to take the covers off and then get them back on. I am so grateful that I can take them off and just throw them in the washer, because the backs of my couches don't do that. And I have been struggling with cleaning those. I've used my green machine and they still look so dingy. So I am still on a mission to clean the backs of my couches. They unzip on the bottom, but then I don't get it. The other 3 sides of them are sewed to the back of the couch, so I don't even get the point of having the zipper in the bottom. Well, no, I know the point. It's to refluff the fluffy stuff in there, but to be honest with you, I've never even done that. But yeah, I don't know the secret to cleaning couches that the covers don't come off. I don't know. For these, I am not doing anything special. I am just going to use my regular laundry detergent I always use for everything. Well, I do have the free and clear, but then also this blue Purex, but I am going to use this blue Purex for this so I can give it a nice, good wash. Not that the free and clear doesn't give items a good wash, but I just have in my mind that since this is a colored one, that it's just stronger. I don't know. And of course, I'm going to use some scent beads because that's the whole purpose of cleaning it also, so it can smell good. I'm going to wash them in cold water and in the bulky items setting. I will say I did use the green machine to quickly go over the back cushions on my couches a couple days before Easter, so they had time to dry, but I just cannot stand the way it looks. Like I said, it just looks so dingy, and still after doing that, it did not look any better. I don't know if they're just so far gone that I need to run the green machine over it a few separate times or what. With that, I did use Folex. I sprayed the Folex first and then used the solution that I put in the green machine, and it still did not come out clean. I do plan to try again a few more times because I do want to get them clean, but I just don't want to pay a cleaning service. But I'm starting to think that we are going to have to.
And now my love for you is so strong, girl. I can feel you slipping away.
We are just going to do a quick little speed reset slash clean in here. I am just getting the bed made. The sheets did not need to be washed just yet. And you already know if I am filming this, I did not have time to do this before dropping the kids off at school, which is always the goal, but sometimes does not happen. So here we are. But it's okay because I do end up dusting and wiping down the nightstands and mirror and then vacuuming. It's always so nice when you get your room cleaned, and then when it's time to go to bed later that night, it is just a good feeling. Everything is clean and everything smells good. I dusted the nightstands, but then I am also going in using my Clorox Scentiva spray to give it a good wipe down. I like the lavender and jasmine one. I do have to say I just ran out of this, so I had to buy a new one. And with that, I wanted to take the opportunity to try a new scent. So they had the grapefruit and orange blossom, which, by the way, the bottle is so pretty. It's like a pinkish, orangish color. And then they had the coconut water lily scent. And oh my God, I feel so bad, but I did not like either of those smells. And I did not want to take a chance because sometimes they can smell a certain way in the bottle at the store, but then when you get home and actually use it, the smell might be better or worse. Kind of like with perfumes and body sprays. It smells one way in the store, but then once you use it on your skin, it can smell different. So I just stuck to my usual. The grapefruit and orange blossom one reminded me of elementary school. I want to say maybe one of my teachers had an orange scented cleaner, and it just took me back when I smelt it in the store. And that's not something I want in my house. I don't mind the orange smell. I've bought Lysol spray and Lysol wipes in that scent, and I can bear it. It's a nice, refreshing smell. And I guess the scent isn't that strong with those items, but with this spray, it was just too strong for me. And the first thing I thought about was elementary school. I know it's weird, but smells can take us back to a certain time, you know? And here is my quote unquote vacuum bag. It is empty but dirty, so let's see how much dirt it picks up in here. Yep, that is my pregnancy pillow you see hanging over the crib. My back was killing me a couple of weeks ago, but I am worried that it will start up again. So I have just been keeping this close and on hand because online I read that when you go to sleep, you can put a pillow in between your legs and then behind you to keep your spine straight and then lay on your side, and that should alleviate some pain. And it did. It works a little bit. I used my heating pad as well for a few minutes before actually laying down and going to bed. But yeah, I was glad that I kept this pillow because it did come in handy for that, because I didn't want to hog all the pillows on the bed. This is the area behind the door. It was getting a little too dusty for my liking, so I decided to use the vacuum hose for this. Might as well, since I am already here. One of these days, I do need to get under the bed and behind the headboard and do the same, and behind the nightstands as well. Is what the vacuum picked up in here. It is so crazy what the eye can't see. I really wish I had more time and energy to clean all the time, because this just goes to show how dirty the floor was. And like I said, all that dust really isn't visible. I mean, that spot at the edge of the carpet and the baseboards, that was visible, but the rest of the carpet isn't like that. It's just so crazy to me. Not one to wipe down the table every day, but today I was just on a speed cleaning roll and figured I'd get this wiped down. It was so dirty from the night before and then breakfast that morning. And yep, I know you see that hot mess behind me, the white sheet and fold up table. Mike had made a fort/tent for our little one. He used the table and some fold up chairs. They played with it for a couple of days, so I was just waiting for them to get tired of it, and they have. So I think I may need to tear it down here shortly and put some things back in order over there, but we will do that another day. But yeah, it was really cute. He took a couple of blankets in there and a tub of toys in there, and I think a couple of books. It was like his little hangout for a couple of days, and yeah, he hasn't been in there for a few days now, so we need to get that taken down and then go ahead and put up the table and chairs, because we are not hosting anything anytime soon. The next event for sure that we will host is Chinese New Year, but that's not until 2027. Here is my most favorite part of the video. The couch cushions are dry and I'm just gonna get them put back on. Don't get me wrong, I am glad that they are clean and I am glad that they come off so easily so that I can just toss them in the washer, and it is a plus, but they are such a pain to get back on. I think this took me a good 30 minutes to do. So when I do this, I do need to make sure I have a lot of patience and a nice block of time. I guess I need to make sure I've had my coffee that morning and have been fed as well. And now that I am talking about this, I do remember Mike had helped me one time to put them back on. And of course, it looks like a simple, easy task, but once you're in it, it kind of becomes difficult just because I guess the material that the actual cushion is, and then the cover. It was so funny. I think I was dreading doing it one time, and then Mike was like, oh, well, let me help you. I'll do it. And about halfway through, like, he was just out of breath, and he was like, why does it look so wonky and funky? And I was telling him, like, there's a method to the madness. Got to pack your patience when you do this. But I do have to give him that for even volunteering to help me. I am telling you, this should be a game on a game show or something. Whoever can put the cover back on the couch cushion the fastest wins. I will say it is very satisfying zipping that zipper back up and then the covers being nice and clean. I just wish those back ones would come off. But anyways, I know earlier in the video I mentioned how I have all this pressure behind my nose and eyes. I really do hope it is just allergies and just a one-off sinus problem. But I will say this past weekend we had some storms come through, and then of course with that it brought a really big cold front. It was really weird for this time of year. So now I am wondering if it was the weather change that messed me up. Of course, that can be it. I did look it up and it said that it could last several days, like that pressure headache. So we shall see. I am just going to take some medicine. Usually I don't, because I like to ride things out naturally, but don't get me wrong. I know when it is time for meds, and I am not against taking them or giving them to my family when needed. But sometimes, the body just has to go through things. And honestly, in the past, I've been to the doctor, and sometimes, like when I'm sick, they'll just say, oh, it's, this type of virus, it just needs to run its course. And basically, that visit to the doctor was just a waste. And honestly, that's happened to me a few times in the past. And so that's why whenever something does happen, I'm just like, okay, we'll just let it run its course. But obviously, if it's really bad, then yes, go to urgent care or the emergency room. Yes, we will do that. I'm not against it. But for the most part, if it's something that I don't feel like I'm dying, I will just ride it out. When I saw our family pictures on the wall right now doing this video, that did remind me that I do want to get our family pictures taken this year, because the last time we did those was in 2024. So I do need to prepare for that, because they booked those out in advance, kind of around this time. And then for like September, October, November. So I do need to figure out what background I want and then outfits. It was so fun to me planning that photo shoot and buying my kids' outfits and then making sure Mike had a nice shirt. It was a good experience. We had taken some Christmas photos with Christmas trees and very Christmassy stuff the year before that in 2023. But for 2025, I wanted to take a break because the photographer I found, she does do mini sessions for 20 minutes and one outfit. And honestly, that's all my family and I need. But that still was a couple $100s, which I know to some people isn't a lot. But I mean, when you're doing it every year, you got to factor that into the budget. And I just want some nice pictures to have and to look back on because we see each other every day and we look the same. But honestly, with the kids, you can see the difference year after year. Like, for instance, the 2023 to 2024, they just look so different. And then, of course, we don't have one for 2025. My sister-in-law took an iPhone photo of us that year on the beach and we all wore white. So that's why we didn't do professional ones that year, because we will just use that photo because that vacation was a pretty penny. And honestly, we planned that whole night out, to get out there right when the sun was setting. We all planned to wear white. So we got a real nice picture of like our individual families, but then we got someone to take a picture of all three of our families together. So we have a really nice photo of that too. I need to get that printed out and hung up on the wall somewhere. And just like that, we are at the end of the video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for being here and for coming along to speed clean with me. I hope this video gave you some motivation and helped you in some way. And I hope you have a great day, night, week, weekend, or whenever you're watching this. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe. I will see you next time.